The time 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Tilani Pires. The Prime Minister thanks India for sending the coronavirus vaccine. The Indian community in Sri Lanka celebrated the 72nd Republic Day today in Colombo. Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment instructed to use its funds for the task of repatriating migrant workers affected by COVID-19. Total count of coronavirus recoveries has exceeded the 51,000 mark. The total of positive cases reached 59,536. And on news overseas, Indian farmers breached Delhi's Red Fort in huge protest. Sri Lanka thanks India for sending the coronavirus vaccine. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that India would be sending 500,000 vaccines to Sri Lanka and they will arrive on Thursday. The Prime Minister has informed this to the Cabinet as well as they have decided to express the appreciation and gratitude of the Sri Lankan government in this regard. Sri Lanka will become the 8th country to which India is gifting COVID-19 vaccines since it began its countrywide mega immunization program last week. India has gifted vaccines to 7 countries in the region under grant assistance in sync with its neighbourhood first policy. The other countries are Bhutan, the Maldives, Bangladesh, Nepal, Myanmar, Seychelles and Mauritius. The Indian community in Sri Lanka celebrated the 72nd Republic Day today with enthusiasm and patriotic fervour. They gathered at the India House in Colombo where the main function was held. The High Commissioner Gopal Bagley read out the message from the President of India. A program of traditional Indian dance and music and several other cultural events was presented. A new symbol of Indo-Sri Lanka friendship was also launched at this ceremony. Similar programs were organized by the Indian consulates in Kandy, Jaffna and Hambantota. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Committee on Public Enterprises has instructed the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to use its funds for the task of repatriating migrant workers affected by COVID-19. The COPE inquired whether there are any legal impediments to the repatriation of Sri Lankan workers using the Foreign Employment Bureau's current assets of 14 billion rupees. SLBFE chairman informed the COPE that there was no obstacle to repatriate foreign workers registered with the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to Sri Lanka using their funds. This was revealed during a COPE meeting held at the Parliament complex recently. Meanwhile, at a discussion held in Temple Trees today, the Prime Minister has instructed the relevant officials to accelerate the program of repatriating Sri Lankan migrant workers who have been stranded in foreign countries. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that there is an increasing tendency for road accidents in the country. Nearly 30 people have been killed in fatal road accidents in the week from January 17th to the 22nd. Also 90 serious injuries, 189 minor injuries and 119 vehicle damages were reported during this period. In the last 24 hours, 5 people have been killed in accidents in various parts of the country. That ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Ministry of Health confirmed the total count of coronavirus recoveries reported in Sri Lanka has exceeded the 51,000 mark, with 709 more patients being discharged from hospitals following complete recovery from the virus. The total number of recoveries has reached 51,046. Sri Lanka has confirmed a total of 59,536 positive cases of coronavirus so far. 8,203 of them are still under medical care at hospitals and treatment centres. Meanwhile, the country has recorded 287 fatalities following the outbreak of the pandemic. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Superivicky will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Superivicky and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And on Watchlight tonight, Negombo Chief Public Health Inspector H. Gunaratna has cautioned a number of churches in the vicinity which were holding feasts and mass to adhere to health guidelines in view of the prevailing situation in the country over COVID-19. He requested churches in Negombo to ask all devotees to strictly adhere to the health guidelines. He called on priests in charge of the churches to ensure that the number of devotees coming in is restricted. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. Indian farmers breach Delhi's Red Fort in huge protest. Italian PM Conte resigns following pandemic criticism. Iran arrests US dual national on spying charges. Thousands of farmers protesting an agriculture reforms have fought through police barricades and tear gas to enter Delhi's historic Red Fort complex. They were on foot and in tractors, part of a huge rally that was planned to coincide with India's Republic Day. Many protesters diverted from agreed routes and clashes broke out with police. One protester has died. Mobile internet services have been suspended in parts of Delhi as security forces scramble to restore order. Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte has resigned, and it is not clear if he will be able to form and lead a new coalition government. He has been criticized for his handling of the coronavirus crisis, in which more than 85,000 Italians have died. Mr. Conte met President Sergio Mattarella, who may ask him to form a stronger government. Last week, he lost his Senate majority, but someone else could become Italy's PM, or a snap election could be called. Iran says it has arrested a US-Iranian dual national facing spying charges who attempted to leave the country. Judiciary spokesman Gholam Hossein Ismail did not identify the man but said he had been free on bail. Iranian media reported last week that a US-Iranian businessman named Emad Shaghi had been arrested as he tried to cross a western border illegally. It could complicate plans by new US President Joe Biden to re-engage diplomatically with Iran. Back to the world news headlines. Indian farmers breach Delhi's Red Fort in huge protest. Italian PM Conte resigns following pandemic criticism. Iran arrests US dual national on spying charges. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
On development news, an elevated expressway to Kalania New Bridge via Rajagiriya connecting the outer circular highway at Aturugiriya is to be constructed. The Road Development Authority has conducted a feasibility study for the proposed project. The project will be implemented with 100% foreign funding under Build, Operate and Transfer scheme. That's development news. Coming up, sports news. 14 wickets fell on an enthralling opening day of the first test between Pakistan and South Africa in Karachi. After opting to bat first, South Africa slipped from 133 for 3 to 220 all out, with opener Dean Elgar top scoring with 58 and leg spinner Yasir Shah taking 3 for 54. Pakistan closed on 33 for 4, with Kagiso Rabada moving to 199 test wickets following a spell of 2 for 8. Night watchman Shafin Afridi fell to Amrit Noji, with Azhar Ali and Fawad Alam the not-out batsmen. South Africa, who are coming off the back of a 2-0 home series win against Sri Lanka, started well, but as the day progressed, the pitch started to show variable bounce. That came to you in sports news. Continuing with business news, The Central Fish Market Employees Federation, CFMEF, says due to the drop in the pandemic situation, 70% fish is now being distributed to all parts of the country from the Paliagoda Central Fish Market every day. Chairman of the CFMEF, Jasri Wickramarachchi, said this is a significant improvement by all sectors involved in the industry, including the fishermen, large and small-scale fish distributors and traders in the main fish market at Paliagoda and outstation fish stalls. That's business news.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The central bank has requested licensed commercial banks to refrain from entering into forward contracts of foreign exchange for a period of 3 months with immediate effect. The directive has been issued in terms of the powers conferred by Section 46(1) of the Banking Act No. 30 of 1988 as amended in view of the need to avoid excess volatility in the foreign exchange market. That's economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now to conclude the weather report, the Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the Sabaragamu province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. A few showers may occur in the eastern and Nuva provinces. Mainly fair weather will prevail over the other parts of the island. Misty conditions can be expected in the western, central and Sabaragamu provinces during the morning. That was the weather report. And now to in this news broadcast, the main points once again. The Prime Minister thanks India for sending the coronavirus vaccine. The Indian community in Sri Lanka celebrated the 72nd Republic Day today in Colombo. Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment instructed to use its funds for the task of repatriating migrant workers affected by COVID-19. Total count of coronavirus recoveries has exceeded the 51,000 mark. The total of positive cases reached 59,536. And on news overseas, Indian farmers breached Delhi's Red Fort in huge protest. That ends this news broadcast. And now it's back to my good friend and colleague, Victor Raj, as usual on a Tuesday evening.